Week 7 is in the books, and the Rebels are pulling away from the pack. I got Week 7 reviews, standings, and Week 8 predictions coming up next. Cue my motherfucking intro.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rap. Last time that I checked, I was selling songs.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Nano Mo, back at you for the one time as we on the grind with the Week 7 updates. And boy, did we have a doozy. We had 3 games cracking last week. 3 games cracking. Before I get into it, I want to say I apologize for the lack of punctuality on my part in doing the video, but like I said in the group, had some complications with posting the video. Seems that it's complaints sent to YouTube on each one of my videos, so it's been constant. They've been emailing me, but I've been ignoring it because it was nothing happening. But this week they took action, and the video that I posted, some guys saw the video that I posted got taken down, so I'm trying to redo another one and see if we can keep it rolling with that. Okay, let's get into Week 7, man. 8 a.m. games. We had TNT slapping around the Scrappers like it's nobody business. Scrappers, y'all need to get the scrapping, man. Y'all supposed to be scrapping. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me change y'all name to the Slap-Arounds, okay? Scrappers, get it together. Scrappers lose 24-1 to TNT. Next up, we had Raiders. Raiders taking it to the Panthers by a touchdown, 6 points, 9-3. Panthers, come on, man. Come on. What's going on? Y'all supposed to be hunters. Y'all getting hunted. Let's go, Panthers. Next up, we had the Wrecking Crew. Wrecking the crew of the Misfits, 11-1. Misfits, come on, man. I gave y'all credit. Last week. Had y'all favorite in the predictions, and you're disappointing me. Come on, dog. Come on. Next up, next game, we had the Rebels versus the Outlaws. Rebels 18, Outlaws 8. Okay, it was a blowout game, but the Rebels giving up 8 to the Outlaws. It could be something into that as the season travels along. Rebels, do something with your defense, dog. 8 runs? That's fucked up. All right, next up is Apaches versus Pound. I had Pound winning this game, and Pound, you got close. Them engine boys, they came over the top of that tomahawk chop and took Pound down, 11-9. Way to stand up though, Pound. I see you working, Pound. Next up, we had Predators and the Hit Squad in a high-scoring game. This was Golden State versus the Clippers, 17-12. Hit Squad, way to put up runs, but I need you to put up 6 more and win that game. Predators win 17-12. Next up, we got the 9 a.m. games. 9 a.m. games cracked off like this. Outlaws beat up on the Scrappers, 10-1. Scrappers, come on, man. You're averaging 1 run a game now. I'm seeing it. First game 1, second game 1. Outlaws, hats off. Way to play ball. Next up, we had the Rebels versus the Apaches. Rebels beat the Apaches 6-1. What happened with them engine boys? You only put up 1 run? Woo. Might be something in that. Next up, we had the Raiders versus TNT. The defending champs TNT, I had you winning. What happened, dog? Raiders beat up on TNT 7-2. Good job, them Pirates. Arr, matey. Next up, we had the Panthers versus the Hit Squad. Now, see, this is the Panthers I was talking about. I'm talking about the LL Cool J walking with the Panther. I'm that type of guy. Panthers beat up on the Hit Squad 22-5. Next up, we had the Misfits versus the Predators. Now, this is the Misfits I was talking about. 19-9 over the Predators. Way to go, Misfits. Next up, we got the 10 a.m. games. 10 a.m. games, we had Pound versus Hit Squad. Pound 17, Hit Squad 4. I told you, Pound. I told you about Pound. Way to go, Pound. Next up, we had Wrecking Crew versus the Apaches. This was the game of the week picked by, no, this wasn't the game of the week. This was the game of the week picked by me. So, Wrecking Crew beat the Apaches by 2 runs. Looked like that was a pretty good game. 6-4, Wrecking Crew over the Apaches. Next up, we had TNT versus the Misfits. TNT squeaks by the Misfits 3-1. Next up, we had the Outlaws and the Predators. Outlaws put up big numbers, 18-3 over the Predators. Panthers putting up runs, slapping the Scrappers around. Scrappers, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, Scrappers? But they put up more than 1 run. They put up 2 runs this week. Scrappers get slapped by the Panthers, 17-2. And then next up, we had the big payback. The payback game of the week. Rebels versus Raiders. And man, I gotta get a pull on this one because the Rebels, let me take that back, not the Raiders, the Rebels beat the living shit out the Raiders 12-0. And when I say beat the shit out of them, they beat the shit out of them. Every time I turn around. Matter of fact, their game was over by the time our game started. TNT versus the Misfits. Rebels came over there and watched our game, laughed, joked, drank beer, everything. So now I want to move on to the current rankings. In at number 1, like I said, the Rebels pulling away from the pack, 9-0. We got Mr. Ricky Fry, aka the Shark, Jerry Tartanian, leading the Rebels to a 9-0-0. I'm talking about the Rebels are running like the running Rebels of UNLV back in the 90s, and y'all know about them boys. I'm talking about Anderson Hunt, Ackles, Larry Johnson, all them boys, Stacey Augman, Moses Eccles, them boys was lit. So this Rebels team is looking like that Rebels team. Good job, Rebels. 9-0, 9-0. No blemishes on their record because the game they lost don't count. Next up, we got Wrecking Crew coming in 7-2. Like I said, Wrecking Crew, one of the most talented teams in the park. Look like they putting it together with only 2 losses. Coming in next is TNT, defending champs, 7-2. Next up, we got the Raiders. Raiders had a statement game against TNT, beating TNT, but then came back and laid completely down against the Rebels. So the Raiders coming in at 6-3. Next up, we got the Apaches. Apaches coming in at 6-3. Then we got Pound, Misfits, Outlaws, and Panthers, all at a 4-5 record, just below 500. Come on, guys, turn it up just a little bit. And let's get the rocking. Come on now. And then next up we got the Predators. Predators 3-6, 3 games under 500. Will the Predators finish above 500? That's the question of the day. And the biggest question of the year is, who will win their first game? The Hit Squad or the Scrappers? As they come in as the welcome mat of the league, both of them at 0-9, 0 wins. And as I always say, get your shit together, dog. All right, moving right along. Next week games, we got 2 games next week, starting at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. First game, we got Apaches versus Predators. Do I even need to say who I think gonna win this game? Apaches gonna win this game handedly. Next up, we got Rebels versus Hit Squad. Another blowout. Rebels winning this one. Next game is Pound versus Misfits. I want to say it's a blowout for Pound, but it's going to be a close game, and I'm going to give that close game to the Misfits because Pound, yeah, I don't even know what y'all be doing at times, so I'm going to give it to the Misfits. Misfits putting some shit together, some pretty good shit together. Next game up is the Raiders versus Scrappers, another game that I don't think will be competitive as the Raiders will. I mean, just out the gate, slapping the scrappers around. Next game is Panthers versus Outlaws. On paper, it might look like the Panthers will blow the Outlaws out, but I think this game will be closer than many would think, because remember, the Panthers put up a lot of runs last week. They had 22 in one game, and I want to say 17 in another game. It's going to be closer than what you think, but I still think the Panthers will beat the Outlaws. And next up will be the 9 a.m. game of the week, rematch of last year's championship. TNT versus the Wrecking Crew. TNT is limping into this one. That's my team. So, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much know we limping into this one. Got a lot of nicks and bruises and injuries and stuff. So I'm gonna get this one to the Misfits. I'm not Misfits. I'm tripping. Not the Misfits. I'm gonna get this one to the Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew will come out on top in the 9 a.m. game of the week versus TNT. Now let's move on to the 10 a.m. game. First game up, Rebels versus Pound. Rebels might score 100 in this game. I'm talking about they coming out shooting like Golden State back when they had KD. Rebels beat Pound handedly. Outlaws versus Hit Squad. Outlaws, I see y'all getting a blowout. Matter of fact, I'm gonna predict the score, 11-1, because Hit Squad, they got the best player in the park. I think he'll get one run for him. Next up, we got Wrecking Crew versus Panthers. Should be a good game. I think Wrecking Crew, they'll be able to stretch their legs out in the first game. So in the second game, they'll come in pretty warmed up. Wrecking Crew beating the Panthers in a non-competitive game. I'm sorry, Panthers. I think Wrecking Crew got too much for you. Next up, we got TNT versus Predators. TNT, predicting them to take one to the head in the first game. They're coming out in the second game with a vengeance, and they're going to blow out the Predators. Next game up will be the Misfits versus the Scrappers. Scrappers, I don't think you got enough. Misfits blowing this one away. They blowing this one away. And then the game of the week for the 10 a.m. games will be the Raiders versus the Apaches. Now remember, first time they played, Apaches came back and beat the Raiders, left them on the field. I'm talking about crying. Raiders coming back for blood? Nah, I don't think so. I think them engine boys gonna get them again, led by one of the more dangerous guys at the plate. My man Georgie Ortiz. Georgie Ortiz is a beast at the plate, and I don't think the Raiders got enough for him. So that wraps it up for my 10 a.m. games and the complete games for week 8. Now, I'm going to do something different for the ending of the show. What I'm going to do is, for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to highlight 4 teams. And I'm going by last year's ranking. So this week, I'm going to go 1 through 4. I'm going to highlight the teams and give a little, you know what I'm saying, a little thing for the highlighted players. The players that I personally think, this is my opinion only. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion only. I personally think makes a difference on the team. First up, we got TNT. TNT is led by one of the more dangerous hitters in the league, my man Chill. He plays shortstop. I mean, and the boy can hit the ball. He can hit the ball. Next up, we got the short center, Reese. Reese is a veteran, crafty veteran. Probably one of the more smarter players I've ever played with and against. Next up, we got the pitcher, the defending championship pitcher, my man Cliff, aka Hitman. I know his name is Hitman, but that motherfucker can sling that motherfucking ball over that plate, and he adjusts and he can throw strikes at will. So my man Cliff is one of the highlighted players for TNT, and of course, ringing it all up, I can't go without saying something about myself. Leadoff man. I still got a little bit in the tank, so fuck all of y'all that say I'm overweight, fat, can't run no more, all that kind of stuff, man. Hey, if I'm 100%, you got it all. If I'm 50%, you're still getting 100% of that 50%. So next up, we got Wrecking Crew. I already told you, Wrecking Crew is the, I'm not gonna say probably, is the most talented team in the CTA Softball League, led by, well, let me go ahead and say this: Wrecking Crew, with the pickups they had in the offseason, Wrecking Crew now has the MVPs from the past 3 years. Wrecking Crew has the MVPs from the past 3 years. And starting off with the center fielder, Dre leadoff man, very dangerous at the plate, fast as shit. And I mean, the man can go to opposite field, and he can go to opposite field hard, very heavy, very dangerous hitter at the plate. Next up, we got probably top 3 hitters in the park, Mr. Thomas Perez Tomas, or as I used to call him all the time, Tommy Guns, because he's shooting them shots. But Thomas, another highlighted player from the Wrecking Crew. Next up, Thomas and Dre both were MVPs. Thomas MVP 3 years ago, Dre MVP 2 years ago, and last year's MVP, Mr. Mackey, the first baseman. Mackey used to be a heavy hitter. I'm talking about long ball like it wasn't, and the chicks loved him because the chicks dig the long ball. Not to mention, he dark-skinned it in the mud. Anyway, Mackey has now evolved his game into an average hitter. I mean, he's damn near the Black Ichiro. So Mackey is a highlighted player from Wrecking Crew. And then another player is their left fielder, Brother Al Mandrano. His primary position is left field that I see him at, but he's one of those players that he can play all over. Got a cannon for an arm, you know what I'm saying, and he can shoot the ball all over the field, all sides of the field with power. So next up, we got the number 3 team, the Rebels. Rebels are right now the number 1 team in the league for 2020. With, I believe I said their record was 9-0, but Rebels is coached by the Shark, Mr. Ricky Shark Fry. Ricky, you got to get you a towel. You got to bite on it like the Shark did back in the 90s, man. I want to see that. I want to see that coming out your dugout. But anyway, the players to be highlighted for the Rebels is my man Smooth center fielder, probably the darkest cat in the park. And when I say dark, the man is dark. He had on some black pants, and all the women thought he didn't have no pants on from far. But Smooth, very smooth game. His name definitely fits him. Hell of a player, can hit the ball to all fields with power, fast as shit. That's the center fielder. Next up is the pitcher, one of the better pitchers in the park, Mr. Tony. I call him Satchel Paige Alcantara. You know, the man is he has come into his own as a hell of a pitcher. Can damn near throw a strike at will. And I saw him last week hit a couple in the right center gap. One of them he legged out a triple. The other one, I don't know what happened on the triple, but the next one he hit, he only stayed at first, which should have been a double or a triple itself. And the next one up is the third baseman, my man Muggs. Muggs is a veteran of the league. I remember him playing with Demolition and also the Raiders, where he was killing with both of those teams. So he now takes that talent to the Rebels, and those guys are some of the main reasons that the Rebels are number 1 in the league right now. The 4th team up, about burning out, are the Raiders. The Raiders, like I've stated time and time again, the Raiders are veteran, scrappy team that always find themselves in the middle of the shit. And the Raiders are coached by my man Lloyd. Hats off to you, Carmelo. And they're led by my man Pierre. Pierre, a very dangerous hitter to the opposite field. Probably hits the ball harder than some of the left-handers do when they pull. And he's going to opposite field. Pierre, hell of an outfielder, great judgment on the ball. Next up is the shortstop / short center / pitcher. He's one of those players. He's a utility player. He can even get out there in the outfield. My man, Lil Chris. Lil Chris comes over after coming out of retirement. Last year he went in retirement, opposite of Jordan. He went in retirement to play basketball instead of baseball. He retired from softball to go play basketball. He played in the D League down in Gary, Indiana. My man Chris is back, and he's making a difference for the Raiders. And next up is a man that a lot of people wouldn't recognize, but this year he has had a hot bat, been swinging a hot bat, Mr. Ronnie Brown. A lot of people be like, man, when guys go into management, their softball game fall completely off. That's the complete opposite of Mr. Ronnie Brown, because Mr. Ronnie Brown is a manager that's hitting and writing motherfuckers up. So hats off to you, Mr. Ronnie Brown. And next up, last but not least for the Raiders, is my man Matt. Matt came over from Demolition, where he played the outfield. Now he has plugged in as a mainstay in the outfield for the Raiders. They got him in center field. Matt, in the past, Matt has always been a heavy hitter, home run hitter. Now the Raiders have put him up at the top of the lineup, and he's starting to evolve his game, which is very smart. Matt, you evolve your game, you play longer. So that wraps it up for my top 4 teams with the highlighted players. Something I want to touch on real quick, unrelated to softball. Fellas, make sure you check and make sure that your house is in order when it comes down to hey, I done forgot the doggone word. To the people that's gonna get your money, your beneficiaries. That's what I was looking for. Make sure your beneficiaries are the people that you want to have your money, that's going to take care of you, take care of your money, do right by you. In the case of you demise or you perish or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We hope nothing like that happens, but we know that's part of life. So make sure you got that shit in order. If you have to, log into the Oracle, check your shit, make sure it's good, make sure it's going to who you want it to go to, and get that shit together. Alright? So, I'm your boy Mo. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Not on Facebook. On YouTube. Like and subscribe so we can get this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I can keep this shit rolling. YouTube needs to know that you guys are digging this, and it's a positive thing for the league. Like you always comment, I need YouTube to know that too. So just in case somebody else complains and they try to flag it, they'll look and be like, okay, we got more likes than we got complaints. We got more positive than we do negative. Like I said, again, I'm your boy Mo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys Sunday, and I'm out.
Last time that I checked.